to say it is my favorite cruise we've done. We did a transatlantic. We went from Fort Lauderdale all the way to Rotterdam, and we stopped in multiple places on the British Isle, right? British Channel.
Yep.
And then we got to go to Le Havre, and very personally for me, we went to Omaha Beach where my dad landed in World War II, which was incredible, and we got to see the cemetery, and that was just a wonderful trip. So we'll talk a little bit about that today. Where did we go? Where did we start? Who did we go with?
Well, it started right here in Central Florida. We began on the Bright Line.
Ooh, that's right.
Which was a very nice, comfortable, and easy way to travel all the way down to Port Everglades, which is Fort Lauderdale. That's where we embarked on the Transatlantic. This was a Holland America voyage. This was on the New Staten Dam, a Pinnacle class ship.
If you live in Orlando or in the Central Florida area and you want to take a cruise out of Fort Lauderdale or Miami, we cannot recommend enough, or even more highly than we already do, the Bright Line. That was just no turnpike, no I-95, no tolls. We literally just very easily got into Fort Lauderdale. We got down. I had ordered an Uber. The Uber was there within 10 minutes, and we were at the port in 10 or 15 minutes, right?
We were.
Dropped off our luggage, and then we were through the lines, and we had to wait for the crew to say it was time to go. But it was just a very easy morning.
Was it probably an hour or so in the waiting area there?
Yeah, with the waiting for the ship to be ready.
There was a lot of people waiting to board, but it was relatively orderly. I commend them doing a nice job on getting everybody embarked and to the buffet.
Well, we sent that video out, and we put the video out of our embarkation day where he had the brightest idea of all, and we'll always do this, I think, coming forth on any Holland America. Just go to the dive bar, dive in, and have yourself a great hot dog, or if there is a New York pizza.
And deli.
Go to that. The funny was just the actual cruise. So we were like, how many days at sea did we have?
Let's see. There was we had 2 days at sea. We arrived in Bermuda.
That's right. We did.
It was a nice day, nice walk. There's a historic sort of a fort-like compound that you went and visited. The pirates are the theme of that island, and it was nice. We didn't stay off the ship too long there, but we did want to set foot on the island of Bermuda and take a look around, and it was very, very nice. I'd like to go see a little bit more of it sometime when we have a little bit more time, but
yeah, there was another ship in port. I think it was a Norwegian ship that was in port.
Yeah,
and that area just around King's Wharf gets very crowded. But yeah, I think we didn't venture out. We weren't too far, but I think in the future we will, because it's small enough that we can go and do things. But lovely people in the shops and everything were really nice.
Absolutely.
And then we cruised for 6 days.
6 days at sea.
And the first port was Cove, Ireland. And this was a change because we were supposed to be going somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so excited for this change because he got to go kiss the Blarney Stone.
That I did.
Ireland. Oh my gosh. I can't wait to go back. The people were phenomenal. Green, emerald green. That's what I remember. And it was April. It was like the start of spring.
It was cold. It was downright cold.
And it was tight walking up those little steps to go up.
But it was a beautiful place, County Cork, and the excursion. I'd recommend it highly if you take a Holland America Transatlantic and you are fortunate enough to stop in Cove, County Cork, and you get a chance to go to Blarney Castle. Even if you don't want to kiss the Blarney Stone, it is an amazing compound with some amazing history. It's really quite interesting.
I didn't go up
I did.
I was afraid to go up because I was afraid I was going to get stuck. I'm not the smallest person in the room, but because it was quite tight going up there. But I did film him. I actually was able to watch him kiss the stone, and somebody above actually took your picture too, right?
Yeah, they have gentlemen there that help you to, because this is a very difficult process. You need to lay down on your back and stretch out. And looking back, you can see, I think they said it was something like 300 feet. I don't know if it's that high. I'm not sure the height, but it was a long way down. And I don't like heights too well. But there was nothing below you there. And these
No.
guys
Well, those two bars.
Yeah, you hold on to the back, you hold on to these bars. And you got to get way out there to be able to kiss the stone. But
it was so beautiful. The property too. There was gardens that you can go to. Once he kissed the stone, he came down, and then we took a little bit walk. But we could have walked. There was a lot of gardens that you could do. But just getting back to where the center of town, to the end of the castle area, it was just beautiful. And they have shops that you can go to where they're actually doing the woolen. What they call them jumpers. So for those of you in the U.S., jumpers or sweaters. It was a fun day. It was a great excursion, and really, 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 really want to get back to Ireland. That I kind of felt really at home there. It was really a lot of fun.
I like edification when you go on. I like to learn stuff. I like to see history. I like to take in the culture a little bit of where you're at, and I'm not big with crowds, but I kind of like to get a feel of life there. And I kind of got a feel, even just going from the port to the castle, to the Blarney Castle and back, and getting a little bit of a history lesson from the guide on the tour bus. It was quite nice.
The coolest thing was we were one of the first ships of the year coming in because it started the season. As we were sailing away, everyone in the town came to, the port area, and you see multi-generations. You see grandpas holding kids on the wall and people waving and,
following you down the beach. It was really
it was really great. And getting in the morning, we had a balcony, so I was able to film in the morning. Just how beautiful it was, but it was really cool. It was really cool to see that, from the town. So, and being welcomed, especially nowadays, there's a lot of some cities that don't want to see cruise ships, but this city really embraced it. So, who was our next stop? The next day was Guernsey, right?
Actually, it was Guernsey.
Yeah, our very first tender experience. We were in the lifeboats.
Yeah.
Guernsey is off of United Kingdom. It is not ruled by the United Kingdom. Our tour guide was very adamant about that.
Yep, and there's a history there. So they are a little bit upset with the way they were handled during World War II. It's the only part of Great Britain that was occupied by the Germans.
And our excursion that day was really following the path of the German occupation. And that was probably, I have to say, was the eeriest feeling I have ever experienced we went to a hospital, was it not?
It was an underground
hospital. And when our pictures, we will show you, when it was black in some of those pictures. And you could feel there was a certain room that I couldn't go in. I refused to go in, I think, more than anything.
We found out kind of why, the feeling. I mean, this was basically, it's a large multi-tunnel system that was dug by the captured prisoners, used as slave labor, and not treated well, as you can imagine. And when they happened to pass away down there, they didn't really have a way to bring them out, so they just buried them in the walls.
And so our driver, when we came out of the tunnel, asked by a raise of hand, who felt strange in the tunnels. We felt uncomfortable, and a lot of us did. And he says, "Well, let me explain to you why." And he told us the story. It was very sad. You see, they had, but that was a very dark. And then we went on further to, so the beaches of Guernsey, right? And where you could see the turrets,
Yeah,
right?
there's a castle or a fort right near the port. I kept thinking we were going to go there, but we went everywhere else but there.
We were in a big bus, and the roads were really small.
Yeah, something very interesting about some of these towns, if you haven't been there, they actually have like signs to where the streets are really too narrow for more than one vehicle, but it's two-way traffic. So the signs tell which side of the road needs to put two wheels up onto the curb to let the other vehicles pass on the other side. It was quite interesting. It took me a while to figure out. And this big tour bus, had to put its wheels up on the curb so a little teeny car could go past on the other side. It was quite amazing.
And we even said we want to go back there again because it was just, the people were amazing. Our tour guide was a riot. He was so funny. And you could see, and I guess we had a kindred spirit as Americans with them because he was very independent and they were very independent people. But talked about the Guernsey cow, the Jersey cows, because this is what they call Jersey part of the English Channel.
And the Guernsey goats.
And the Guernsey goats. So
I tell you, they have this rebel. If you don't know me, I'm a bit of a rebel, and they just have this rebel attitude there, and I like it. I got another little tidbit. Now check this out. So we checked before we went, what type of currency do we need? So Great Britain, but not really, but really. It's part of Great Britain, but not ruled by Great Britain, or by England. British pound sterling, killer. We got some British pounds sterling, took them with us. Then we've come to find out they take Guernsey pounds. Well, Guernsey pounds they will take British pounds, no problem, but they'll give you change in Guernsey pounds. Guess where Guernsey pounds are good at? Guess where they can be used? Guernsey. So if you don't spend them all, you have a nice little souvenir that, unless you go back to Guernsey, it'll be a souvenir.
And then after Guernsey, we went to
Le Havre was next.
Le Havre. Okay, so
France.
We were in France, and we decided to do the excursion that went to Omaha Beach. The excursion was called Bloody Omaha. Mm-hmm. For those who don't know, my dad was in a part of the second wave of and landed on Omaha Beach.
Normandy invasion.
So
changed the world.
It was I wanted to go there. I've always wanted to go there. And when we finally, and it was our tour was the only one that actually went and let us get off the bus and walk on the beach.
That's the reason we chose this one. It was a very long day. It was a lot of riding the bus.
But it was because it's a distance from Le Havre. It's about 3 hours, 2 hours.
I don't think it was quite.
No, about an hour and a half. It was an hour and a half.
Paris is like 3 hours away, but this was probably an hour and a half to 2 hours on the bus. It was long. It was a good distance, but
yeah, it was
well worth it.
It was a fantastic tour that we went on, but getting on that beach was really. I can't put the words into what it felt like. There's a lot of people that and they instill in their youth that the people of France are free because of only one thing, and that is the American and the Allied forces. And they are very respectful, and they teach that to their students. How do we know that? Well, on the beach, there was a circle of people to the left of where we were standing, and it was all youngsters. And our guide told us when we got on the bus is that they require in school that these kids come to Omaha Beach, to all the beaches of Normandy, and then they go to the American Cemetery, just to remind them that freedom is not free, and it came at the cost of many people who died that day.
There were several school groups at the cemetery when we were there.
Yeah, we went from the beach to the we went to the what was the name of the museum we stopped at? Overlord Museum, which was wild. We have lots of footage from there too. And then there's we went to the cemetery, and wow, is all I can say is it's a very, very peaceful place, isn't it?
Yeah, there was so many people going in and out, but you could hear the birds singing and chirping. It was just kind of a cloudy, cool day, but there was like a beam of sunlight came through here and there, illuminated the cemetery areas.
When we were with a group of people, and a lot of them were vets, Vietnam vets. They were older, a lot older than we were. As we were walking, it's a path that you walk up to get to the main area, and there were school kids coming, and the respect, they all went to the side, and they let, especially the gentlemen that had their hats, and they let them go first. And again, our guide explained that, we teach them reverence, and there's so polite. It was just, I wish it was something that we could do here a lot, because it's amazing. But
we'd love for our school kids to be able to have that experience. It's really, really powerful.
And the cemetery itself it just kept going. The crosses, the Stars of David, the headstones just kept going and going and going. And Rich got a lot of good footage from it.
You turn the corner and there's more.
Yeah. Just that was very close to our hearts. Rich's dad also fought in World War II. So, this was just, it was something we wanted to do. And I'm so glad we spent that day. It was a long day, but I'm so glad we went. It was just a spectacular day, and something, if you have not gone, see if it's on one of your cruises, because you definitely want to do it. Definitely want to do it. And then we got back on the ship, and we went to Dover.
Dover was the next day.
Yep, and we pulled right into the center of Dover and got off, and you could see the castle. We were supposed to get off, but we didn't get off the ship because we were tired from the day before.
Yeah, we did. We had an excursion planned and booked, but decided to take the day to rest. And 6 days at sea weren't enough. I guess we needed one extra day.
And then from there, the next stop was Rotterdam, was it not?
Right, yeah, Rotterdam for disembarkation.
So it was in total 14 nights?
It was
14 nights, 15 days.
Yeah.
And it started in the ship itself was the New Statendam. So give the stats of this New Statendam.
I know that it holds about 2,650 guests. If it's at maximum capacity, where they have second and third guests in the rooms that allow them, it can go up to around a little over 3,000. There weren't that many on the ship. It wasn't even a full sailing. I believe they said there was around 2,000 on this sailing. For some reason, it seemed more crowded than that to me, but once we learned to navigate it was quite nice.
The crew of the Statendam, oh my gosh, they couldn't do enough. We had the best room stewards.
Yep.
But we have to admit that the crew on this ship were outstanding. The best bar on the New Statendam, go to
Panorama Bar.
Go upstairs to the Panorama, deck 10. That's where our rooms were, on deck 10. And John and Jay, the waiter and bartenders, they knew us by the end of the cruise.
Yeah, they just started giving me doubles. So doble. See,
We had to have it all planned, but it was an elite have it all. So we had the bar to us whatever we wanted, and it was just they were fun. They were always with a smile on their face. Our room stewards, two of them, were superb.
mhm.
The entertainment, Rolling Stones had a band there that I know they're probably not there anymore.
Well,
That was disappointing.
well, here, tell you what. I don't know the whole story, but they seem to be good musicians. They couldn't harmonize. They couldn't sing. We saw the social media. Everybody was complaining about this band.
Yeah.
There was a few things that they did kind of okay. They did Tom Petty, not too bad. But tell you, when the crowd got into it, and then here, heads up, Holland America or other cruise lines, when they started playing country music, they played like a 5 country tune set.
Yep.
And everybody got into it. Even the staff was dancing, and people were. They start playing their obscure, supposed to be classic rock, but wasn't stuff. Everybody sat down and got drinks. It's like. So my country music, I think, is a thing to do on
Yeah, the Rolling Stone bar was really good. Waiters, excellent. Bartenders, yeah, knew how to make an amaretto sour, no problem there. They had a billboard piano. It's no longer the dueling piano. Oh boy, that was the big crisis. Oh, big crisis on our cruise.
There's only one piano. Oh no, the world's coming to an end.
But he was a lounge lizard singer. I'm sorry. But
if there was 2 of them, I would have pulled my hair. Wait a minute.
It was, if you knew Neil, you know who Neil Sedaka is? That's what he sounded like. So it was okay. But when we went to the world stage, the best performances we got that day were 2 performances that week. And who were they?
The Arcades.
Fantastic. They were, I mean, the world stage was packed to the gills every time that they were performing. And that was really a lot of fun. We had a lot of activities for Sea Days. I mean, a lot of activities for Sea Days.
Yep, take part in them. There was plenty of stuff to do.
Plenty to do. There was plenty of presentations. There was the cooking demo with the bad table. And
yeah, there was, they had wine tastings. They had whiskey
yes, right. You went on the wine tasting.
Yeah.
And there was so much to do on those days. And so, I mean, let's wrap it up in a big bow. Would you do a transatlantic again?
In a heartbeat. Absolutely.
Absolutely. We're actually looking for another one to do because we enjoyed it so much. But this time, we want to fly from Europe here and then take the cruise here.
I want to just take 2 of them. I want to go there.
You want to go back to back.
Tour Europe and come back. Why take a plane at all? It's so uncivilized.
The age of the cruise of our travel mates was higher. Okay, it was higher, and like Rich said, we had to take a couple of days to learn the patterns, and then we just did the opposite. And but you know what? Very nice people.
Oh yeah.
All there to have fun.
Yep.
How many times you were going around the promenade deck, and that's the one thing that I really do want to say that Holland America is set apart from other cruise lines. Their promenade deck, you can go out there and you can do your laps, and it's not like you're up on the top of the ship where you're going to get blown with high winds. You're in a really nice area where you can do these laps, and it's the fresh air.
I love a nice promenade. It
was
many
just
of these
great.
Cruise ships don't have it anymore. Some of them are so inward facing, and it's a lot of days at sea, but I find peace looking out over the ocean. We missed a music venue. Well, there's another good music venue, BB King Lounge.
Oh, BB King Lounge! Oh my gosh, that was I would have to say premier live band.
Yep.
Ever, and
not about ever, but on that ship they were the best.
In all the cruises that we've just done,
yeah,
the premier live band.
Those musicians were excellent,
and the female singer
was outstanding.
This was really a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Mm-hmm. That was always something that we did do at least 3, 4, 5 times. I can't remember how many times we went there.
Oh, we did. Even if we didn't stay, we'd stop in there, have a drink, watch a little bit of the BB King All-Star band. The horn player was excellent. Drummer, great. It was and I'm not dissing anybody else, but those really stood out to me. And the female singer, very, very, very good.
Definitely, definitely. And would we consider Holland America again? Yeah, definitely would. But we want to try other lines. We really, 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 really want to try other lines.
I want to see a Holland. I want to see a Transatlantic on another line. See what it's like. This was a particular special one. Went to certain places that we wanted to go. Had a historical focus that we wanted to see, and we got everything that we could have asked for and more. And the value of it.
Oh wow, yeah.
The value of it was outstanding.
And it's called booking early and knowing what time of year to book, because we did not see that deal that we got ever again.
Nope.
So if you're looking at a transatlantic, really need to start looking in March, the year before you want to go.
Like at least 9 months out. Really,
yeah.
You know.
We could not find that deal again. And it was a balcony cabin that we had. We did the guarantee that they tell everybody not to do. We did a guarantee and we ended up getting upgraded to the spa level. And
I didn't have any problem with it.
No, it was fantastic.
I was going to have an unobstructed balcony. Yep, the room was a little bit on the smaller side. The stateroom was. Balcony was definitely on the smaller side, but it was a balcony. You could step out on it. You could sit. There was a chair. You could sit out on it. You know, it was a little bit chilly up there in the North Atlantic.
I took a nap out there. It was great.
But,
they give you a free blanket. It's great.
Yeah, they got a nice
and the bathroom was big enough. It was fantastic. They would take a shower.
It wasn't the
it wasn't as small as Embassy.
I will. Oh, that whole Toledo. That was.
That was just.
You could barely step into that and turn around in place. You know.
Yeah. So anyway, we really enjoyed that a lot.